Good afternoon, everyone. What a difference a week makes. So this time last week we were bitter cold with lots of ice on the ground, and we are bumping 80 degrees here today in Texas. We're going to talk about the 3 things I try to keep growing year round. Stay tuned. So when cooking lots of your soups, your stews, even your broths, or sauteing anything, there are 3 main ingredients that they call the Trinity for cooking, and that is celery, carrots, and onions. So these 3 things are what you're going to want to try to keep growing year round if you're able to. Here in Texas, we are able to with the high tunnels, but you can also do it on your back porch. I have found that the celery, which I have right here, I have grown year round. I grew it all through last winter. I grew it through the summer, through the fall, and now I have 2 big tubs full of it. Yes, I said tubs. I'm not growing it in the ground. We are doing container gardening on these. So let's talk more about it. So this is the Chinese white celery. We've had really good luck with it. We do start it in little seed pods. And then we transplant them into these buckets, and they're doing fantastic, guys. Celery is rich in magnesium. You can eat the leaves, you can eat the stalks, you can saute the leaves. It's all delicious. We even freeze dried some celery stalks and leaves to make in smoothies, or to just add to our soups and stews. And here are my carrots. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 big tubs of carrots. These have grown since the fall. They're doing quite well. I've taken quite a bit of them out and cooked with them throughout all the fall, throughout all the winter, and I'm fixing to plant more today. I'm going to plant more onions, and I'm going to plant more celery, and I'm going to plant more carrots, which leads us to our 3rd item of the Trinity. Now I want to point out, guys, that I'm growing all of these in containers, and you can too. So behind me here, you see my onions. I started these seeds in a baby tub, and then I have quite a few more in containers behind me. Let me show you. So here are how the onions are doing in this tub. They are doing quite well. Guys, we're gonna have onions here out of this tub real soon, and then I have some transplants in these tubs, and I've been rotating them in and out. Here is another container, and you can see it's just a very large tub of my celery, and it's looking absolutely beautiful, guys. Look at this. These beautiful stalks, and they are buttery rich. They have such a wonderful flavor. So I'm very, very happy with how our celery has turned out. And here's some of our carrots. You can see that they're doing quite well in here. So I'm gonna let these come to fruition, and I'm gonna plant a couple more tubs today, because again, we want to always keep these on hand for our cooking. So I'm in the high tunnel, and Greg is preparing a seed starting table and a seed starting area where we can put our growing plants along with our seed starters in here to get them acclimated to the sun and get them ready to plant in this large high tunnel. And woo-wee, is it a large high tunnel. So let's come over here. So my turnips are looking really good, and believe it or not, guys, my onions are rebounding from the shock of transplant and also from the cold weather. And we are starting to see some of our beets come up. So this whole area is going to be our spring and summer garden. We're going to have tomatoes. We're going to have various peppers. There's all kinds of things, guys, that we're going to grow in here. Tomatoes and peppers, of course, are our main ones, but there's lots of different variety items that we're going to plant this year that we haven't planted in the past. And then we're going to plant our old favorites, which is our squashes and our zucchinis, some eggplant, some okra, so a little bit of everything. We are gearing up. Today is February the 11th. So for us in Texas right now, the rest of February looks to be mild. When I say mild, I mean very few days below freezing, and will probably be highs in the 50s and the 60s and increasing even more. So on average, our first 80-degree day here in Texas is February the 17th, which is next week. We may hit that today, which is February 11th. We're a little early. We are still in a La Nina pattern. They think that will last us through May. We'll keep an eye on that, which means a very dry pattern for us in the spring and in the summer. But I think since we're having a mild February, that we're probably going to have some late freezes in March and April. So you want to be aware of that. But as far as your carrots and your celery and your onions, those are all cold weather or cool weather tolerant. If you live in an apartment, if you have a small backyard, if you have a patio, these are things you can grow very successfully in a container, or you can grow them in your garden. We just happen to grow them in containers right now because the weather's a little wonky and we want to make sure that we get harvest more important than ever this year. I know I say that every year, but every year it gets a little bit more important. So I'm going to get to planting here, and we want to make sure and have this little rotation going on of the Trinity vegetables. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that like button and hit that little subscribe button and hit that little bell up in the right hand corner so that when I post a video, you will be made aware of it. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll be in touch over the weekend. Take care. God bless, and we'll see you soon.